Hey guys, Preaching Realtor. If you're patient with me, I'm going to share something with you that's going to absolutely blow your mind. Have you got a minute? If you don't, save the video and go back and watch it later, because this is absolutely amazing. The wedding of Canaan wasn't about the wedding, but it was about the testimony that Jesus was God. How did I get there? Follow along. Okay, I'm going to take my time. There are a few Bible verses, but just follow along, please. In Exodus chapter 2, this is what the Bible says about Moses. And in chapter 2, verse 3, it says, "But when she could no longer hide him, she got a papyrus basket for him and coated it with tar and pitch, and then she placed the child in it and put him among the reeds along the bank of the Nile." Verse 5, "Then Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the riverbank, and she saw the basket amongst the reeds, and sent her female slave to get it." Okay, now watch this. In John chapter 2, Jesus' first recorded miracle, according to the Apostle John, Jesus was at a wedding in Cana. The Hebrew word for Cana is place of the reeds. Jesus did his first miracle in the reeds. Okay? Now, listen to what Moses says in Deuteronomy 18:15 and then 18:19. "The Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you, from your countrymen. You shall listen to him." That's what Moses writes. Verse 18, "I will raise up a prophet from among the countrymen like you, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak to them all that I command him. It shall come about that whoever does not listen to my words, which he shall speak in my name, I myself will require of him." Okay, so what? Well, there's this really interesting little thing that happens in Cana. They ran out of wine. Chapter 2, verse 3. "And when the wine had ran out, the mother of Jesus said to him, 'They have no wine.' And Jesus' response says to his mother, 'Woman, what does that have to do with us? My hour has not yet come.' But listen to Mary. His mother said to the servants, 'Whatever he says to you, do it.'" Now, that was a witness that he was the one when she said, "Listen to him." Why do I know this to be true? Because in the book of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, none of these books record the wedding of Canaan, just John does. But they record the Mount of Transfiguration. And listen to what the Father says. "This is my Son, listen to him." Now, Mary said it and God said it. And the Bible says, by the mouth of two, let everything be established. It was a confirmed witness that he was the one. It's going to get better. Put your seatbelt on. In Exodus chapter 12, verses 7 and verse 13, listen to what God says. "Moreover, they shall take some of the blood and put it on the two doorposts of the lintel of the house in which they eat." Verse 13, "The blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you live, and when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and no plague will befall you to destroy you when I strike you the land of Egypt." Now listen to this. During Jesus' meeting with Pilate, they handed him over to the Praetorian Guard. And the Bible says in Mark 15:17-19, they dressed him up with purple, and after twisting a crown of thorns, they put it on him, and then they began to acclaim him King of the Jews. And they kept beating his head with a reed and spitting on him and kneeling him down before him. Now, Why did they put a crown on his head and then begin to beat him? Well, those reeds, by the way, were sometimes used as walking sticks. But they beat the crown on his head so that he would bleed. Why was that important? John chapter 10. I am the door. If anyone enters through me, he will be saved and will go in and out and find pasture. When Jesus was being beaten, the blood was running down the door so that the angel of destruction and the angel of death would pass over you and me for all eternity. Let me say something to you. Moses turned the water to blood, signifying there was no salvation through man. Jesus came along and he turned water into wine and said, I am the life. Read, pray, worship. Read, pray, worship.